What? Why?
I always come back.
Okay, so I just came back from playing Mario Kart World at a friend's house, and I have so much to talk about. Like we're gonna get to the spawn of Satan soon. Don't worry, but I want to first just cover the Switch 2 itself. You know, as you can plainly see, I'm still uploading to this channel. I'm not homeless, and I still have a computer, and I sell half my organs to fucking Siberia. So I didn't buy a Switch 2, but I just want to talk about how cool it kind of is. The controller, like the Joy-Cons themselves, aren't made for fucking infants anymore, and you can actually like click down on the buttons like they're decently sized. The controllers are magnetic, so they don't like, you know, if you try to push them down on the grip, they won't like fuck up in a weird way. Another pretty cool thing is just how fast things tend to load. Like, I'm used to the Switch 1 loading times of the eShop being a millennium and me being a drying corpse from fucking dry desert by the time it's done loading. But on Switch 2, it's just like, boop, bop, it's loaded. It's one of those things where that's not a selling point, really. It's more so the Switch 1 in comparison was just so shit. It's just so jarring to see the UI, like, the UI actually fucking work. It's weird. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. You know what you clicked on. This is Mario Kart. We're talking about Mario Kart. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know that I have a pretty, let's call it a storied history with this game franchise. I mean, I used to love DS as a kid. That was like one of my favorite games ever. And then I played 7, and then I started playing 8 Deluxe with my friends, and then I was on the suicide hotline the second time I played online. It was great. We all had fun. What do I say about it? I say it's pretty good. I mean, I feel like the whole game's a pretty solid package. $80. I mean, it all right for $80, but for playing it for free, it's pretty good for free. Steal the Switch 2 for free. Before we get into the courses and eventually get into my arch nemesis and how I feel about them, I just want to quickly cover something that I do want to make into a larger video later down the line at some point, which is the Koopalings. Where the fuck? Where did they get fucking Thanos snapped? What's going on? They haven't appeared in mainline games. They're only really referenced in billboards, like advertisements in this game, and they're nowhere else to be found. Not even as a selectable character. Not even like one Koopaling to kind of represent them all. I don't know. I feel like that would have been a really easy port. And I know it's 7 characters, so it is kind of a lot to ask for characters I don't think people like that much. But it's like, Iggy. My main Iggy is gone. Like, this is the worst day of my life. But I do feel like even if they were replaced, it would have been the Brutals. But the Brutals aren't in this game either. So I don't really... They're in this weird limbo state where, like, they do exist, but they don't get invited to fucking Mario Kart like Baby Daisy and Baby Peach do and Paint Cold Peach do, but not the Koopalings, like the goats. And like, I mean, at least Iggy, the goat ever, like he doesn't get invited. Like what sick fucking world is this? Regardless, I found the snowman to be quite an appealing main replacement. I really like him. Something about him just speaks to me. They make all these cute noises, and they just got a head full of empty. Like I love them. I love them so much. Keep in mind, these are my first impressions, so they're obviously subject to change either when I get the game or when I play it more with friends. But I'd say overall, it's a pretty solid package. There's only 2 courses I'd say that are like actual dog shit. The rest are either like mediocre or really good. These new Mario Kart courses have so many interesting themes. I mean, you got fucking the Boo Cinema one, which is just it isn't the most interesting to race on, but it's such a novel concept. Obviously, the names of all the courses escapes me now because I played all of them in one sitting. I'm not gonna fucking remember all the names, but a lot of them feel like they're taking the courses of some of the so-so tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and revitalizing them with some needed flair, like the question block course. It reminded me a lot of Thwomp Ruins. And I think the DNA is definitely there. The new mechanics in this game as well, you have grinding and wall running or driving, whatever. The big highlight here is grind rails and just grinding in general. I think this is going to be like a really fucking big game changer because it becomes kind of a game in it of itself, and it also opens up way for a lot more shortcuts in the game. Like for example, in Airship Fortress, which we will get to in just a second. Specifically, at the very beginning, there's a giant line of grind rails that lead up to the gate inside of the airship, and it's just so fucking satisfying to grind along those. And then later on, inside the ship as well, there's these kind of fire bars and these two grind rails on opposite ends you can kind of trick between. And like I was saying, it kind of creates this mini game in itself where you have to keep driving and, you know, avoid obstacles and red shells and green shells and shit. But you also have this fun little game where you're like, it's like a semi-platformer in a way, if that makes sense. Like, they also revamped the trick system in a weird way where you can trick in any direction, and especially when you're flying, you can trick like left to right, kind of like a little strafe. It's really useful for repositioning yourself when you're in a tight spot. I'm a big fan of it. Now, enough of that bullshit. Let's talk about the actual thing everybody wanted to talk about, which the courses. The DS courses specifically. First off, we have the aforementioned Air Fortress. And can I just say, after years of waiting for this to actually be remade and not, like, ported to a fucking smartphone app, it's just so fucking good to be home. I will say, first and foremost, I do kind of wish that they added an extra section to this course, because while it's good, it is still really solid. I do think it feels pretty short in the end and can kind of get repetitive, but at the same time, it's like, can you really perfect Pete? Can you really go a step higher than that? The bar is all the way up here and Airship Fortress is fucking up here, so I get why they didn't change it. Besides the very appealing visuals, the course is 1-to-1, but not the fucking music. They took the original song, which I really liked. There's a bias there though, because I just really like the DS's sound font, but they took that original song, which was pretty solid in itself, and brought it to life with this fucking orchestra. I'm not sure if it's live or not, but it's a lot more lively and a lot more dramatic. I'm just really glad. Probably my favorite DS track next to Bowser's Castle DS is finally in a mainline game. More people get to experience it. It really brings some warmth to my chilly little heart. The second course we have up is Desert Hills, which, in comparison to Airship Fortress, got a giant fucking overhaul. Like, seriously, dude, it doesn't even look like the same course anymore. It's a completely different thing at this point. Which, to be fair, Desert Hills was kind of a piece of shit anyway, so maybe it needed that. But on the other hand, I do kind of miss some of the DS aesthetics. Unlike Airship Fortress, though, Desert Pass... What the fuck? Desert Pass? What fucked up Wiggles world am I living in? Hold the fuck up. Let me try that again. Unlike Desert Hills... Unlike Airship Fortress, Desert Hills is completely different, though. Like, graphically, doesn't even look like the DS counterpart 2. From here on out, just assume that all the music is really fucking good for pretty much every track. I don't think I need to say it. But it looks completely different. The kind of fucked up pyramids are gone. Design-wise, it's still alright. I'd say it's a little better than DS's, but that's, again, not really much of a high jump to clear. It's just very okay. It's probably one of the weaker DS tracks to bring back, which it's pretty much a shame that a lot of other ones got shafted. Or, you know, they could have brought Shroom Ridge back a third time. You know, I wouldn't be complaining if they did that. Our penultimate DS track, though, is DK Pass, which I think by and large has the second best music in general. I'd say Airship Fortress, for me, of this like DS lineup, has the best music. But DK Pass is like right up there. Like, it's so fucking cheery. Like, if you don't smile a little bit when you listen to this, I just think you're a corpse. You're not really real. You just don't exist to me in my world. It looks, and it might be my imagination, but it also plays a lot different than the original DK Pass. A lot of the boring sections, because that track was fucking long, a lot of the boring sections of that track were removed. And overall, still another solid track. I don't have anything crazy to say about it. I really just need to play these tracks more to get a stronger impression. And finally, we've reached the most controversial part of this entire game, Choco Mountain. Now, in my mind's eye, I'm pissed. I mean, like, you had my favorite course, Shroom Ridge, and Choco Mountain, my least favorite course, and of course my least favorite course survives the fucking Thanos snap and gets to be in this game. Fuck you. And when I heard For my friends, they were like, "Oh, Choco Mountain's gonna be in this game." I was horrified. Or like a couple that keep stabbing each other in the back during nasty gay sex. It's pretty much that all the time. That's my relationship with Choco Mountain. I'm sticking to it. And hearing this track was gonna come back was pretty painful. I mean, they didn't vault the boulders, so obviously they have no fucking idea how to make this track any better. I've had an entire lifetime of getting smashed by boulders in this game, getting fucking run over the fucking cliff, getting just not really having the best time in a video game ever on this track. And it's a part of me now. But would it shock you if I said that this track in Mario Kart World specifically isn't actually that bad? Like, fuck. Okay, let's just start from the top. Visually, it's got a complete overhaul. Choco Mountain originally used to be this kind of isolated, moody, foggy, chocolate-based mountain. And hell, it's not even really said it's made of chocolate. It just has the appearance of chocolate. It's kind of boring in its N64 version. It got a little better in the Mario Kart 8 version. Still dog shit. It got a little bit more flair when they added the cave section and the glider section, but still pretty much the biggest turd you can find on dog shit avenue. But in Mario Kart World, they've completely dug it out, and now it's kind of this charge and chuck like football stadium thing, which I hate that I'm saying this. I feel physically reviled that these words are going to leave my mouth, but it's actually kind of cool. But it's not like I like Choco Mountain or anything. Baka. I will say the charge and chucks are pretty much the next boulder in terms of being fucking annoying, but it adds some spice. It's visually just interesting. There's a lot going on. You have the dubiously chocolate substance foaming out of those fountains. There's just a bunch of open space where there pretty much was just walls and original Choco Mountain. And then you have like all these spectators watching the game, all these like LED screens showing a bunch of charge and chucks running. Like, I hate to say it, but fuck, it's not half bad. You know, they actually took the course, you know, added a new theme in it and kind of evolved it in a sense. You could definitely see this version of Choco Mountain as like a, in Sonic CD terms, good future Choco Mountain, where it's industrialized in a sense, but, you know, not to the hurt of the environment. It's more so just, you know, they're living in coexistence now. And it looks pretty cool. There's still the boulder, my cursed enemy that's fucking smothered in poop, I mean chocolate. But for the most part, besides that, it's pretty fun to race on. Another big feature of this game is the Knockout Tour, which I got to play about 2 rounds of. And dude, that shit is gonna be so fun online. Can you imagine, like, if this had a ranked mode, which I don't think it does, but if it had like a ranked system where like you have to keep performing well to get higher up, I'd grind it, honestly. I'd play it for, you know, on and off, probably not competitively, but just for fun. I'd, you know, play it to practice or get better at the game itself. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts on Mario Kart World so far. I'll definitely have to play this game a lot more to form some stronger opinions. And I am happy a lot of DS stuff returned, and some tracks I wasn't a fan of have grown on me slightly. But I would also like to know, what did you think about Mario Kart World if you played it? Or if you haven't and you've just seen the track list or heard the music, what do you think of that too? Let me know in the comments. See you pecs time. Bye bye. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, I see you pee.
Gotta hold on tight to your Happy Meal when this bandicoot's around.
Whatever.